You know, it's a funny thing. We all know my cousin hates me, and from time to time, sometimes more often than others, he does things that makes my life harder. And the other day, he mentioned these window boxes for the skylights because we spaced the rafters down. Well, on the tops and bottoms of them, it was still 2 inches shallow. He said, we should put some spacers in there so that when the finished carpenter, namely him, comes around and boxes those all in and fills them in nice with hemlock or whatever we do, probably hemlock, it'll be easier. So make his life easier. Yeah, see how it goes. Yep, knew it. And that's what we're going to be dealing with. Just to make it more funner, I can't do every wall individual. The two end walls were put in last. Side walls were put in first. Notice the side walls go in beyond the end walls, then the end walls go in and lock the side walls in. Yeah, so the sides won't come out unless the end walls are out. So in other words, I can't remove the end wall, strip this mess out, and then put the wood back up to get the wood out of the way, because then I won't be able to get this out of the way. In other words, what has to happen is I'm going to have to do this all at once. I was hoping to do one wall at a time, but I can't do it just because I can't put the end walls back in. So I have to strip this mess out of here and then store the wood, have that all underfoot. Yeah, oh well. So the end wall has to come out, this end wall has to come out. And then the side walls I can do, pull one out, clean it up, re-insulate it, put it back in, because they're not locking anything together. It doesn't appear as bad as I thought it was going to be in there. But just because the paper face is still intact in most places doesn't mean that the fiberglass insulation behind it is all still intact. I don't know where Dave is. Probably over there, takes half a dozen smokes to get going in the morning, then, gotta work on the coffee, get the pinky out, sip that coffee. It takes an hour to suck down some coffee, sip, sip, sip. Princess, right? I can make fun of him because he's not over here. I'll make fun of him anyway. Yeah. Well, these boards are coming off pretty good, so it's nice being able to salvage, because they don't give them away. We've got a lumber yard that sells them at half the price of like Home Depot, which is even further away. So, got a good source for them, not a bad price for them, but still, why spend money if you don't have to? Good thing I don't have a fire in here. The building would be on the ground before the fire chief got over here. 2 or 3 years ago, I had noticed that this had tapered down, and I thought, crap, this sill is sinking. There's something wrong. And crawling under the building, I couldn't find anything wrong. Well, nope, it's built that way. So now that I have this wall out, I got the same thing right there. Those studs are down, and this tapers until we get over to there. You can see where it comes back up to a level floor. Right there in the maroon color, it's all level. So, as we discovered last year when we ripped the siding off, this used to be a shed thing, converted into a camp. Old part of a so-called door frame. So that was part of the ramp coming up in. They tapered it down. That all makes sense. So that makes me feel a lot better knowing there's nothing structurally wrong here. So don't have to worry about it. All this has to come down. The shelving, the radios, all that. Yeah, that's going to be fun. The inverter is mounted on the side wall. All that's going to have to get removed so we can rip this mess out of here. But this end wall, as I said last night, needs to come out in order to unlock that wall. Yeah. So this is going to be fun. But at least we can take it apart on this side of the door. So that's helpful. All this can come out. All that can come out. We can redo that side wall, get that repaired, put the side wall back together, put the end walls back in, get the power back up. It's a mess in here, just all the dust on everything. Gotta love it. But we're gaining. Supposed to have some heavy weather coming in anytime today now. Heavy rain, thunder boomers. So trying to take advantage of it, not just sitting around doing nothing. Get this camp up and going. Make life a little easier?
Yeah, we just got rid of one stud out of your house.
Yeah. Good. Now we can at least get that tine groove out. We're getting there. What a freaking mess on them shelves. Took a while to get them cleaned off. I don't know what Dave's doing down there. Sleeping, I guess.
Playing with octopuses.
Well, we've been hemming and hawing some ideas here, and whenever Dave gets involved, it gets complicated. So, gonna be doing some rearranging in here. Somewhere right behind me is where the window's going, which was in the plan, and then gonna wind up building the crapper and everything over here on this side instead of over on the other side where it is now. So, kind of doing an inversion, and then over on that side is where the inverters are going to wind up being and all that. So we're doing some flip-flopping. And yeah, it's going to be a little different in here when it's all done. Down here we've got a hole right there. That's a mouse hole. I've seen them drag insulation out of there before. I'm too short!
Yes. In more ways than you would know.
I hope I don't know. We still have Sue's shelves. They just moved from one building out here to this building. And they're actually level. According to the level, they're perfect. Genius here came up with the idea of making this a bathroom area that can be walled in and closed in. That'll be nice. I have a couple windows on order, and one is for this wall, which was going to go right here. Well, then the discussion comes up. Do you want to put the window in the bathroom or just outside of the bathroom? So the question is, are you going to kill my crapper or not?
No, I got my own.
Well, yeah, so I guess we can put the window on the outside of the bathroom.
Thing is, I know you'll kill it.
Not as bad as you do.
You've had me beat before.
Negative. Check this out. Get the top board off. That was interesting. So, 3 boards down, and check it out. Empty bay. You can see paper on the stud. There used to be insulation in there. I wonder how far down we're gonna go before we find any. Hey, do you feel like main cabin masters yet?
No, we don't get paid enough. The time I'm gonna end up on TV will be the American Funniest Home Videos.
Still no insulation. Well, looks like there might be something down here, such as it is.
No, something better than nothing.
Maybe half the wall. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Don't that stink? Gorgeous. Real good insulation around that outlet box. Wow, look at that. Got Dave in action over here.
Finally.
Yeah.
Freaking lazy ass.
Finally get out of bed. It's only 3:30.
I was awake at 5.
Tonight, yeah.
Pager went off at 5.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
He had a nice little house there.
Yeah.
I know George evicted a couple.
Yes, he did.
I think he thought they were quite yummy.
Killed that one. There you go. There are some The lovely stuff right there, huh?
Yes, mouse house.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
She should have used some smaller nails.
Well, here's what we got.
A mess.
A mess.
We've got a lot of nails to pull.
That's coming out. Yeah, she is a friggin' mess. Now comes the fun part. This whole insulation is going to get peeled out of here.
Oh, I was going to say watching Eli work.
Yeah. What a difference. Got her cleaned up. Dave pulled the nails out. I've been through here with a shop vac. Looks better already. Look what I found. How about that? What a crying shame. How we doing today, folks? We know it's a weekend because it's raining. This is like 10 or 11 in a row. Got this end wall opened up. Ain't that a beauty?
Complete with mouse holes and...
That's a mouse hole too. It's been a good weekend?
Yeah.
Why has it been a good weekend,
Look at
birthday
all the
boy?
stuff that got tore down inside.
All the stuff? And
all that wall and insulation and mouse nest.
yeah.
We got piles burnt.
We did.
We got an ambulance to start.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sounds good too.
We got another wall out. The big white box is gone.
And
Moved
you're
it in
another
there.
year older today. Lucky you.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, you old geezer.
Just give it up. Remember, you'll get there too.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna get there before you get there. You're always gonna get there before me.
Yeah, I know. No shit.
You're ahead of me. You're number one.
What does that mean? I'm going to be first to the grave?
Well, maybe.
I hope not.
Got mice in the corner here. I sucked out one with a vacuum, squished another with a flat bar. And we got two more popping their heads out and tails out right there.
But he just stuck his head out, said, screw you. And I just watched him crawl up inside here.
There, mouse. Take that. What we got going on is this wall, like all the others, is going to get spaced out 2 more inches. So insulate it, have it spaced, and then board this back up because we want to get the inverters and such mounted on this wall. Well, if we do that, that would space the tongue and groove out here almost 3 inches onto that wall, locking that wall in. So Dave's just hacking that out so that we can finish this rear wall, put it all back together without locking that in. The foam we're using, this is 12.5 bucks a can, I think. Mouse Shield. It's supposed to have this odor in it that the mice don't like, so they won't try and eat it. So
We only encapsulated one with it.
yeah, there should be 1 or 2 that's entombed. We'll find out when we pull the siding off. But anything we could do around here to deter mice. Trophy. Dave's trophy. He got a mouse
With a hammer
with a hammer.
in the vinyl siding.
He did. That was funny. He launched up off the couch, went running out the door, and I'm like, what the hell did I hear? Bang, bang! What the hell was that? He goes, I just saw a mouse! And he saw the thing go up in behind the vinyl siding, so he started beating the crap out of the vinyl siding, which is all getting replaced anyway. And he goes, I got it! And then the mouse fell out. Friggin' things. This boy just got hammered. See you in the next one. There's gonna be a few of those.